Hello and welcome to Higher Maths, Polynomials and Quadratics. In this lesson we are looking at solving quadratic inequalities. So we're going to be solving something that looks like x squared plus x minus 12 is less than 0. Remember, that is an inequality, so less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. The most efficient way of doing this is by making a rough sketch of the parabola. To do this we need two things: the shape, concave up or concave down, so smiley face or sad face parabola, and the x-axis intercepts. We can then solve the quadratic inequality by inspection of the sketch. So let's have a look at how we do that. So solve x squared plus x minus 12 is less than 0. So have a think about what this curve is going to look like. So it will be concave up. It will be a positive parabola, a smiley face parabola. Find the x-intercepts. So we're solving x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. What I'm trying to do here is find out these 2 points, the 2 points where the curve is crossing the x-axis. Again, we should be fine with factorizing by now. If not, go back to the essential skills exercise and do lots and lots of practice, or get along to study support and ask for help. So we factorize and then solve to find the two roots, the two x-intercepts. So this parabola crosses at -4 and at 3, and it is concave up. There's a smiley face parabola. So we are solving x squared plus x minus 12 is less than 0. So we are looking at when this curve has a negative value. Okay, it has negative values for any x value between -4 and 3. So if we look at x equals -2, the curve has a negative value. It's below the x-axis. We look at x equals -3, the curve has a negative value because, again, it's below the x-axis. If we look at x equals 5, the curve has a positive value. If we look at x equals 3, the curve has a value of 0. We're looking at when the curve's less than 0. Okay, so using our set notation, x, where x is an element of real numbers, but x must be greater than -4 and also less than 3. So that means between -4 and 3. Okay, let's have a look at number 2. So find the values of x for which 6 plus 7x minus 3x squared is greater than or equal to 0. So this curve will be concave down because we have minus 3x squared there. So it'll be a negative parabola, concave down. So again, find the x-intercept. So I don't really want to factorize this. So what I'm going to do is basically move all the terms over to the right-hand side. So I'm going to add 3x squared minus 7x and minus 6x from both sides. And that'll make my leading term of x squared positive. I'll then factorize. So I'm looking for factors of 6. And I also need to get minus 7x here. So 3x times this -3 is -9x. 2 times x is 2x. Add those together, we get the -7x. And again, solve each one of these equal to 0. So it's going to give the roots of x equals 3 and x equals -2/3. Then make the sketch. Now remember, we are solving 6 plus 7x minus 3x squared is greater than or equal to 0. So that's the curve we must sketch. Do not sketch this curve instead. We were just writing this to factorize and solve to find the x-intercepts. And again, it's between -2/3 and 3. This time, because it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 0, we're going to have to include the -2/3 and 3 in our solution. So x is greater than or equal to -2/3 and also less than or equal to 3. So let's recap again, guys. We need to make the sketch here. Now I say this every year, and quite often I'll just wander around the room and pupils are solving this to equal 0, and then they're taking a guess at this part. Okay, once you've solved to equal 0, make a sketch. It takes, I don't know, 10 seconds? 10 seconds to make that sketch to ensure you get the correct marks. Okay.